Lucas Cole, better known as Diamond Heartstone, is the youngest of 5 siblings. Matthew being his eldest brother at 29, then Mary being his eldest sister at 28, Logan being his third oldest brother at 26, and Olivia being his 4th eldest sister at 23. Their parents were never in the picture, even from a young age. Lucas remembers nothing about his parents, and if any of his siblings knew anything about them, they didn't tell him. At the age of 3, Lucas and his siblings were found and taken in by a noble family of humans, the Noval family. In turn for being taken in, the siblings would serve the family alongside the servants. Some of the servants weren't happy with the new demonic hires, as they put it, and because of that, the siblings were forced to stay in a shed that wasn't really used as much. Small beds were moved into the shed for them to sleep on, as well as some blankets, and over time it would become home to them. The group would clean the manor, do the laundry, take care of the garden and the land, help out in the kitchen, and on occasion Matthew would help cook. Lucas usually helped with the laundry until he was old enough to clean the guest rooms, which was around the age of 6. When parties would be held and guests hosted, the siblings were requested to remain out of sight as much as possible, which wasn't a problem for the most part. Except, Lucas and Olivia had a fascination with the nobles and their lifestyle. Their fine dining and dancing and the way they talked, and especially the way they dressed. Olivia loved the fancy dresses the ladies wore and how they glided across the room even when walking. Lucas was fascinated by the outfits too, but was always more fascinated and enchanted by the jewelry they'd wear. How each piece would shine in its own way and make the person wearing them look like a glittering diamond. Someone worth something. Wanting a closer look, Lucas stole his first piece of jewelry, a silver chained necklace with a copper wire tree pendant that has white crystals as its leaves. It was incredible how someone could make such a thing, and he wanted to know how. Maybe if he knew, he could make jewelry for himself and his siblings, and they'd become people who wouldn't be looked down upon because of their lineage they had no say in. He didn't intend to keep it, but he wanted to look at it some more, so he hid the necklace in his pillow. As the years passed, Lucas's jewelry collection only grew, and he had to move it to underneath a loose floorboard beside his bed. In the manor, it had been suspected that a thief lived among them in the recent months, as Lucas had gotten a little too greedy, so he had to be extra careful when he wanted to look at his collection. But one can only be so careful before they slip up. One night, when he thought he was alone in his shared room, he pried the floorboards open and pulled out the first piece of jewelry he ever took, the necklace. That's when he heard a gasp and saw his brother, Matthew, standing in the doorway with a horrified look. Matthew was conflicted, knowing his brother was the thief and needing to tell the Noval family. Yet, he found himself unable to turn away. Matthew made sure Lucas knew how absolutely disappointed and furious he was, and that he needed to put every piece back before anyone else found out. Lucas, feeling guilty and hating himself for letting his obsession get this far, said he would, pocketing the necklace for the time being. But he never got the chance to, as the very next day, his sister, Olivia, found him and told him he needed to run and get as far away from the estate as possible, as Callum, the head of the family and the one who took Lucas and his siblings in and gave them a place to call home, was on a warpath looking for him. Confused and scared, Lucas ran. He ran as fast as he could and put as much distance between him and the estate, all the while wondering if Matthew told Callum his secret, or if someone else did. Now he travels around the continent, occasionally stealing jewelry here and there, and making himself sparkle because he could. And he changed his name to match who he wanted to be, to Diamond Heartstone, someone who wants to be the best jeweler in all the world.